Multi-exclusive dimensional being Kai with another exclusive. And today's video is going to be about Aries and Taurus compatibility. Now, first thing first, Aries is fire, and it's cardinal fire, initiating new ways on how to feel, because of course that's the inner, and C is the vision. So now you have this with Earth, aka Taurus, which is practicality, stability, and they fixated in these things, and they fixated in their own way of doing things. And of course, we get that. Now, fire loves to transform. Fire loves to move. Fire loves to get things flowing and going. Now, fire is active. Aries is active. Aries is, for me, that's why they represent the two horns. Because they both are strong zodiac signs, too. Because this is basically a 30 degree, which is a semi-sextile, seeing the other coin of both spectrums. And these two signs are opposite because we all know Mars is opposite Venus, which means Venus represents Libra and Venus represents Taurus, which is love, appreciation, compromisation. Feel me? This is also dealing with desires, our lusts, and the things that we are into. And Mars represents passion, motivation, willpower, and desires, also intent. Now, this is also representing our physical pleasures, our representations, our ambitions, our goals, and things of that matter. Now, when you place a Aries with a Taurus, this is a circumstance and situation where, the sex is great. You know what I'm saying? The sex is wonderful because at the end of the day, these are two powerful, strong signs that basically are very lustful. And of course, you got Venus and you got Mars here. So this is also determination, motivation, and this is also putting this towards sex, which is desire, lust. So y'all got sex is gonna be great for me. Now Taurus got their own way of being fixated and their own way of desires and pleasures. So of course, as long as you keeping them aroused and taking your time with them, everything will be good. But of course, if you rushing a Taurus during sex, then they're gonna feel very uncomfortable. They're gonna feel like they not this is not their spectrum. And of course, the Aries will look at it like, come on, like we've been fucking in this position for too damn long. Let's switch it up now. And the Taurus would be like, you know what, I'm not really comfortable with that as yet. For me, let me just take my time, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna switch it up. Now, this can frustrate the Aries. Also, the Taurus can get frustrated too because the Taurus can basically feel like it's not being appreciated in its own way of looking at things. So that means they're fixated. That means fixed representations, as in stagnation, as in taking their time and basically seeing things in one perspective and not looking at the full course. See, Aries, you feel me? They like carnal, so they like basically fire. Fire burns fast. Fire creates conflict and burns fast, so it's moving quickly at a rapid pace. So of course, if you can't keep up with the Aries, then the Aries gonna feel the need to basically say, you know what, I can't really deal with this. For me, the Aries need some form of speed, some form of constraint where they can basically at least have a competition or a battle. But of course, that's how they will look at it. At least someone that can at least have balance, equilibrium that can match their vibe. Now, when you got an Aries and Taurus, for me, like the trust is nothing wrong with their trust issues. For me, they also got different ways of being valued or valuing certain things. So like an Aries, they can go basically go get a cup of coffee or something, drink that shit, and the Taurus will basically take their time drinking this shit and basically want to go get cake. Aries want to be like, yo, let's try something else. Let's try something new and shit. For me, I don't want to be staying here all fucking day not doing shit. Taurus gonna look at the Aries like, oh, you know what? This coffee tastes real good. I need to try something else. For me, because Taurus represents the five senses: hear, feel, see, smell, touch. So of course they get attacked by materialistic natures, materialistic sensualizations, and of course this is what's being attracted. So they already being attracted by all senses. And of course, Aries normally get attacked by all spirits of the zodiac sign, and they express these things and they push these things off because fire is constantly moving, so you're basically spiraling. And of course, being that it was the first zodiac sign, this is like basically, if you're the first spirit, all spirits is basically gonna track towards you in all elements. They're gonna see what's going on. Now, these elements can be carried out and pushed out in many ways. So if you got this spectrum here, this is basically it being represented it being formulated and being pushed out. See, now when you got an Aries and Taurus, see, it can work out, but you know fire burns the earth, which means that the fire likes to move, it likes to trailblaze, and it likes to get across. See, Earth likes to take its time and shit, and you know that's what's gonna cause the head-on collision between these two. These two can basically get into heated arguments and shit. Arguments can go left, can go right, and of course when they arguing and shit, for me, the Aries can be trying to prove the Taurus right. The Taurus would be stubborn, fixated, and not giving a fuck about what the Aries saying, which will also cause frustration and things of that matter. And, you know, this is a fixed sign, so they're fixated, and of course they got good memory, so they remember everything because the moon is also exalted here. And of course, you got an Aries. For me, Aries, they normally don't really stay long, don't stay mad for too long. They normally basically brush things off and keep it pushing and keep it moving. For me, so yeah, it's not really that much of a of existence. And Taurus, really, you know, Taurus like to be in a stable, safe, security place where things is like nice, stable, calm, cool, and collective. And of course, the Aries don't mind that, but if the Aries like want to get around, the Aries want to experience, the Aries want to basically get out there. And of course, if you're trying to like pretty much stagnate and trap fire in one position, it's not gonna happen. Fire need to, feel me, get it moving, get it going. Feel me, got like that spark. The fire, if the fire is not fixed fire like Leo, feel me. We talk about cardinal fire, which initiate new ways on how to feel and see and burn through reality and be able to create creativity where they can basically have a spectrum rolling. So if you got these two zodiac signs, in order for y'all basically to cope together, y'all would have to adjust to each and one another lifestyles and person to personalities. And of course, this is not very easy, but depending on what kind of placements that you have in your chart, it's cool. Now, all the zodiac signs is compatible. Feel me? It's not the desire. It's not about the desires. It's not about how you see things. It's about how you present yourself in a spiritual perspective. Now, if y'all got a spiritual goal and y'all know what y'all trying to manifest into this world, y'all gonna work together. Feel me? Y'all gonna work very smooth. But if you lost into society and what they say and the desires of it, and of course, not allowing the experiences to flow, then of course you ain't gonna be able to actually see the high spectrum, the high corn when it comes to these things that matter. So you got to be open for these experiences. Don't just second guess yourself or put yourself in a situation where you may not see this perspective because someone told you this relationship won't work out or that relationship won't work out. No, it ain't the case. Feel me? Because y'all can have certain planetary alignments that go very sweet and very well. Y'all can become rich ass couples. So never fucking second guess shit. Just go for the experience, real shit. That's basically Aries and Taurus. Feel me? That's basically Aries and Taurus.